Hi everyone, I all hope you had a very wonderful, blessed weekend, and I hope you that you, excuse me, I hope that you all had a wonderful, blessed weekend, and I'm very grateful that you guys are still exactly watching my videos and my episodes as well. It means quite a great lot to me that you guys are viewing it. Also, guys, like to ask you for something else. Could you please, guys, as well, please subscribe to my channel. It would quietly mean a lot. Please, guys, subscribe to my channel and also quietly view. It would also greatly mean a lot to me. Your support means a lot to me. Quietly, greatly means a lot to me. And also, I have to tell you something else, guys. Somewhere within September, I won't exactly be doing any more episodes because I'll be going back to my dog training college school in order to finish off my dog training college studies. But when I'm back, I'll continue more episodes about more characters and about more supervillains and superheroes and ancient forces of evil, powerful dark witches and ancient threats and sinister forces that have lived for many centuries throughout the sacred universe and many centuries throughout the sacred world as itself and throughout the rest of human history as well. So guys, I would really appreciate that. I would also really appreciate your support and your subscribing and your voting would greatly mean a lot to me. And as exactly I'm saying before, I appreciate your support and you guys viewing my videos and everything else on my episodes really means a lot to me. I'm grateful for you guys. Please keep supporting me and please try to subscribe to my channels. Today, anyway guys, the sky is quietly blue and very quietly great, and it's quietly warmer and it's becoming more warmer than ever. It tells me that spring is really quietly closing in, which means that we're already in spring. So guys, take care of yourself, be happy, be yourselves, enjoy yourselves, do whatever makes you happy, and remember the most important thing is to fulfill your dreams and your goals. Don't give up, guys. Don't ever give up, no matter what, no matter how tough it gets. So, anyway, guys, we're here to talk about another ancient and powerful supervillain known as Mayor Bear, who is the ruler of Thunder World and who's an arch nemesis of the Universal Heroes and of the Universal Thunder Heroes. He is also a frequent collaborator of a villainous organization of the Order of the Five, the Order of the Six, and the Founders. He helps these villainous organizations to help these villainous organizations with to further their own plans in controlling the sacred universe and the sacred world, and also it means by empowering himself as a powerful influencer and a powerful businessman, and also a powerful influencer of the world and as well throughout the rest of the galaxy. So let's exactly proceed. In Mayor Bear's early life, Mayor Bear began his criminal reputation as a part-time common criminal in order to raise his ranks throughout the criminal world, in order to become a powerful super criminal. In doing so, he waged war with the original Thunder Heroes of Eric's father, with the original Thunder Heroes, in order to exactly attack them. Eric's father was the original leader of the original Thunder Heroes. In order to do so, Eric's father, known as the original Thunderman, began stripping Mayor Bear of his power and of his confidence. In doing so, Mayor Bear showed hatred and greater hatred for the Thunder Heroes as they exactly what they did him, and he swore to them that he will exactly get revenge and his power, and that he'll reclaim his rightful place as the ruler of Thunderworld, and everything else will be achieved in his righteous way. In doing so, the original Thunder Heroes did not exactly believe him. After that, he was sentenced straightly into the astral prison, a prison designed to house super criminals and super villains and rogue heroes and powerful dark magic users known as the dark druids, the dark witches, and the dark faithful. Mayor Bear was quietly sentenced straightly into the astral prison. During at that time in the astral prison, Professor Wool came to Mayor Bear in his prison cell and gave him a proposition which he cannot exactly refuse, a proposition that would exactly help him take his rightful place in Thunderworld and become the righteous ruler of Thunderworld, unaware that Professor War is a secret member of a villainous organization known as the Founders, with the goal of controlling humanity and planet Earth and the known universe and the sacred world and the sacred universe by manipulating conflicts and sacred galactic conflicts and wars to their benefits and to their advantage to further their own plans and their own missions and their own goals. In doing so, Professor Wall gave Mayor Bear a proposition which he cannot refuse, a proposition that would exactly make sure that he remains in power forever, meaning remaining in power forever, as in completely forever, staying in power and staying in control of Thunderworld. And Mayor Bear exactly accepted the proposition. which was able to shake hands with him, stating the proposition exactly at two phases. Mayor Bear would the criminal Bear will remain as Mayor Bear of Thunderworld, and in doing so, he become a frequent collaborator of the Order of the Five and the Order of the Six, and also the founders, helping them achieve their goals, and also they furthering their own plans as well by any means necessary. Bear exactly accepted this proposition, and that he'll do everything else in his power to make sure that the Order of the Five, the Order of the Six, and the Founders remain in power of the sacred galactic war that's been waging on for many, many centuries. And that's still going on even now. When Mayor Bear was quietly released and fully released from the astral prison, he started beginning a clean reputation as becoming a philanthropist for planet Thunderworld, which is where exactly he headed to. The people of Thunderworld were quietly happy to see that the bear has been quietly been set free from the astral prison, and Bear decided to take his final opportunity to becoming the Mayor Bear of Thunderworld, and also to leading Thunderworld to his greatest reputation in order to secretly controlling it for the founders and for the Order of the Five and for the Order of the Six as well. In doing so, Mayor Bear was voted to become the Mayor Bear of the city, of becoming Mayor Bear of Thunderworld in order to become the great ruler of Thunderworld, and all the people of Thunderworld began to accepting him and began exactly voting for him to become Mayor Bear of Thunderworld, and he gladly took the seat to becoming Mayor Bear of Thunderworld, and he was gladly exactly voted to becoming the next ruler of Thunderworld. But the new Thunder heroes weren't quite being pleased with this at all, as they knew that Mayor Bear had evil plans and bigger plans in order to upset the delicate balance of the sacred world and of the sacred universe by any and all means necessary for his own sinister plans and for his own crafty plans. Mayor Bear began ruling Thunderworld with an iron fist over the past few years, since the original Lolo Magic remained in power of the Shadow Empire. The original Lolo Magic was in power of the Shadow Empire for many, many centuries ago. Even within the still years of Mayor Bear still becoming the great ruler of Thunderworld. During at that time, Mayor Bear began turning the people of Thunderworld against the newly Thunderworld, against the new Thunder heroes, in order to speed hatred and hatredism against the Thunderworld heroes. The Thunderworld heroes, they were up against the most powerful, veritable nemesis, and they realized that they weren't exactly going to win this war a very much quiet and easy way. They decided on to take the battle straightly to Mayor Bear, which is precisely what they exactly did in order to do so. They persistently exactly continued to wage war against Mayor Bear by persistently taking him down, by taking his forces. On the 1st of January, Mayor Bear began planning a powerful heist that can exactly work in three phases. One was to extract the crystals, harvest the shadow energy, gather all the magical crystals from the magical worlds and from the other magical dimensions. The Thunder Heroes are well aware exactly that Mayor Bear has been part and is actually the mastermind of this heist, and they decided to exactly stopping his forces from exactly extracting all the crystals and all the magical crystals from the other magical worlds, which was successfully able to prevent. Due to the Universal Thunder Heroes intervention, Mayor Bear wasn't quite dissatisfied with this, as he was very quietly disappointed. On the 2 of January, Mayor Bear entered a video conference with the members of the Order of the Five, when Darklight exactly told him that his work and his great and magnificent work has been a greater cause to the organization's plan, to the organization, the Order of the Five, his plans, and to the Order of the Five, his plans and goals, meaning that he's done a very good work and a very, very good mission in order to make sure to uphold his promise and his ideals, as the Order of the Five continues to uphold his good works and also his promise that is kept to Mayor Bear as well, meaning that if Mayor Bear continues his great behavior and his great work, the Order of the Five will continue exactly rewarding him with great worlds and with great power beyond his unimagining, which is exactly what Darklight exactly said to Mayor Bear, and Mayor Bear was quietly pleased. Mayor Bear continued supplying the Order of the Five with more destructive crystal technologies and more empowered technologies as part of their deal and as part of their as part of their deal and part of their pact, and he continued exactly supplying them with more destructive technologies over the past few years. After realizing that the original Normal Magic was in power, Mayor Bear sat at his seat. Mayor Bear sat at his seat at his table at his headquarters of Thunderworld, and his headquarters of Thunderworld within the building of Thunderworld, where he was able to exactly to become the mayor of Thunderworld and begin thinking of a strategy and a plan to empower to make sure that the Order of the Five and the Order of the Six and the Founders remain in power of the war and everything else. He came up with many strategies and many plans excuse me, and in secretly, he began secretly communicating with Professor War in order to get new ideas and new works. Professor War told him that the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders need an ally and need a new collaborator in order for them to work for them. In order to do so, and Professor War told Mayfair this collaboration will have to work in four phases. The first phase is to promise the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders to restore their allegiance and infidelity to the founders, to the Order of the Five, and to the Order of the Six. The second phase is for the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders to continue supplying the Order of the Five, the Order of the Six, and the founders with destructive and more powerful technologies ever before. And the third phase would be for the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders to keep supplying the Order of the Five and the Order of the Six, and also the founders with endless worlds and planets as part of their deal. And the last phase will be for the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders to restore their allegiance and their loyalty to the villainous organizations such as the Order of the Five, the Order of the Six, and the Founders as well, in order to make sure that their loyalty and their strictly bond remains intact, that can never be broken or that can never be unbroken as part of those propositions. Mayor constantly completely obliged and completely complied that he will exactly do that. Mayor was able to meet with the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders on the 17th of January, telling them that it's time for them to exactly sow their allegiance to the Order of the Five, and as well to the founders, and the Order of the Six as well. In doing so, the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders agreed to this plan and to this tactic, meaning would also further their own agenda and their own goals in conquering numerous worlds and numerous planets for their new masters, for serving their new masters rather than to serve the original master known as the original Lord of Magic, which are able to shake hands together. During the years, Mayor Bear continued to hosted a video, continued to hold a video conference with the men, with the people of Thunder World, telling them that the Universal Thunder Heroes and the Universal Heroes of quietly able to save worlds and planets on the 1st of February, telling them they were able to save worlds and planets. Eric and Universal Men continue to discredit Mayor Bear as well as his reputation, stating that he's a super villain and as well as a powerful super criminal who has a mad mind who cannot exactly be trusted. Mayor Bear continues to say that the Universal Thunder Heroes and the Universal Heroes and the Intergalactic Coalition are doing a handsomely job telling the people of Thunder World, meaning that they are the greatest saviors ever lived, and they will continue doing so by any means necessary. Mayor Bear was able to secretly meet up with Dark Light on the 10th of February, telling him that everything else is in place. Darklight exactly told Mayberry it's time for him to exactly create operations in order for them to harvest shadow energy and the dark energy's powers by any and all means necessary, which means it has to come to reality. Mayberry completely agreed with Darklight, meaning that is exactly extremely the perfect time in order for that to exactly happen. On the 13th of February, Mayor Bear continued to creating an operation where all his forces will continue to divulge, where all his forces will continue to exactly using all the external networks and external extraterrestrial networks and alien communication networks in order to communicate with his operatives and agents, harvesting the limited amount of shadow energy in order to create destructive technologies and more powerful technologies. Dark Witch Boy exactly came out of nowhere and started attacking Mayor Bear's forces and his associates with his dark magic, telling Mayor Bear that there's been a change of plans with his work, meaning that Dark Witch Boy will exactly fully take control of the operation and that everything else will be handed to the founders, meaning that he'll take it from here. Mayor Bear completely agreed that everything else is in the control of the founders and that he and associates will easily step aside and leave the good works to the founders and as well to the plans to them as quietly part of the plan. On the 14th of February, Mayberry continued to disgrace the Universal Thunder Heroes and continued to put their reputations down on the knee as becoming a thorn to the Universal Thunder Heroes and as well to the Galactic Coalition. When the power vacuum was created, when the original Lord of Magic set has created a huge power vacuum, all the Election Empire warlords commanders wanted to conquer many worlds and many planets beyond their imagining, creating a huge war between the Intergalactic Coalition and the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders themselves. The war between good and evil continued to boil over and continued to spiral out of control like anything else ever before, like anything else and ever seen ever before. And Mayor Bear was completely reluctantly pleased and very happy that the intergalactic sacred galactic war has now completely spiraled out of control and that everything else is faltering straightly into place. Mayor was able to secretly meet up with Shadow Master and Darklight and Shadow Fox on a private headquarters, which was quietly held on an individual basis of operation, where they were quietly able to be kept hidden. Darklight was able to tell him that the plan was quietly still in place, and yet he stated to Mayfair that he quietly completely ruined it, and that meeting exactly took place. That meeting exactly took place on the 20th of February, and Darklight was not exactly quite the feast, and everything else was going according to plan until Mayfair quietly completely ruined it. Mayfair told Darklight that the founders themselves were the ones who took completely control of the operations and everything else, and the Shin Empire warlords and commanders are still completely able to supply the Order of the Five with more destructive technologies and everything else as part of the agreement. Darklight was not quietly completely I was very happy with that, but not quietly completely unhappy with the rest of the operation that quickly faltered to the control of the founders, stating that Mayfair needs to rectify that mess and needs to exactly completely fix it, meaning by completely tarnishing the Universal Hero's reputation and as well the Intergalactic Coalition. And Shadow Master completely agreed with Darklight and as well as Shadow Fox. Mayor Bear completely realized that he needs to exactly take a drastic action and a very effective drastic action at this matters, realizing that the Universal Prince and his new ancient society of supervillains want the Universal Throne. He decided to use that to his advantage in order to seize power and more control of everything. He continued to discredit the Universal Thunder heroes, and he continued to exactly to prepare himself by enhancing himself with superpowers, by putting John Serum with superpowers and completely becoming more powerful than ever. During at the time, Mayor Bear continued to be getting for universal domination, meaning by taking control and by becoming the sole ruler of Thunder Worlds and all the other worlds in close proximity of Thunder Worlds atmospheres, by controlling them with an iron fist and by ruling them with an iron fist by any means necessary. Eric's younger son, who's now the new Thunder ambassador, was not very quietly pleased with this. Not very quietly pleased with this decision that Mayor Bear was able to take, and a huge confrontation was quietly lurking by. A very huge confrontation between the Universal Thunder Heroes and Mayor Bear was quietly, literally lurking by, as Mayor Bear continued to beginning his sinister plan to take full control of Thunder World and the rest of the known worlds throughout the known universe and throughout the sacred world and throughout the sacred universe. As he begins in order for his final plan, he was able to meet up with the members of the Order of the Five on the 25th of February on a video conference, telling them that everything else is quietly in place and that everything else is quietly exactly the way it was supposed to be, and everything else will exactly fully take in its place. The operation will exactly place Thunder World and the other known worlds strictly under the control of the Order of the Five, and meaning that everything else will fall under the control of the Order of the Five and under the control of the High Grade Masters. Shadow Master was quietly pleased that this debacle better pay off, otherwise you're paid with your full life and you're forfeit with your full life. As Darklight quietly agreed and the Goddess of Light quietly agreed, Ghost Boy quietly agreed, Golden Knight quietly agreed, Red Knight quietly agreed, Dark Witch Girl quietly agreed as well, Menotin Knight Michael Jackson quietly agreed as well. The Note Tonight Michael as well quietly agreed as well as the other Note Tonight fully quietly successfully agreed as well. All the members of the Order of the Five successfully agreed with this matter, meaning that Mayor Bay will face his judgment day if this matter is in quietly concealed. Mayor Bay continued to speak with his operative on a private cell phone throughout his central headquarters of his building within World, telling them everything else should go in place. Meanwhile, a portal out of nowhere emerged and opened within the building of World, and the Universal Thunder Heroes and the Universal Heroes emerged from the building, telling Mayor Bay that the time has finally come to pay for your crimes. And Mayor Bay reluctantly tell them that the time has come for them to pay for their crimes. Mayor Bay continued holding out for his escape as the other heroes emerged from the other side of the portal, as the other portal opened from the other side, and Universal Earth Boy told him that it's time for him to pay for his crimes. Universal Thunder Boy, known as Eric's son, took charge of Mayor Bear, completely fought him off, and the entire video screen of the whole galaxy was watching of the confrontation as the battle between good and evil waged on publicly throughout the rest of the galaxy. All the other aliens and civilizations on the known worlds and the known planets were watching the confrontation between Mayor Bear and the rest of the heroes, as the rest of the heroes continue charging him, against his forces, as they continue fighting up against him. When Mayor Bear was completely overpowered by Eric's son, he told him that he will never win this war or this battle, meaning that everything else is already under the sole control of his masters. And Erickson was very quietly furious and very quietly angry than ever before, was not exactly in a good mood. He told him that killing Mayor Bear would exactly restore justice and order back to Dunnerworld, and that everything else would be rightfully back in order the way it was meant to be. But Eric had to stop his son, telling him that's not exactly the right way or how heroes exactly do business. Eric's son told his father that he's no longer a hero. He's now a Dunnerworld, a Dunner hero villain. Eric's son completely killed Mayor Bear in front of the whole galaxy. In front of the whole galaxy, showing the whole galaxy that he's now a murderer. The universal heroes were not quietly displeased with this, as Mayor Bear was quietly killed in publicity. Completely quietly killed publicity, as the whole galaxy was in shock, literally in stasis shock, as they saw the whole features, and they were all in shock as Mayor Bear was quietly completely killed. Eric told his son that he's no longer a hero anymore. As Eric told his son, as Eric told his father, as Eric's son told his father that he did exactly what needed to be done in order to save Dunnerworld and the rest of the galaxy from Mayor Bear's oppression and cruelty by any and all means necessary, which was a necessary effective change and effective mission. He told the rest of the galaxy that Dunnerworld is now under the sole control of the Universal Dunner Heroes and of the Intergalactic Coalition and of the Universal Heroes from now on, meaning the jurisdiction of all aliens and all civilizations are free to enter as much as they will, and he's now the sole ruler of Dunnerworld, meaning making himself the king of Dunnerworld. The Universal Dunner Heroes are now completely unhappy with this, and they completely decided it's time that for them to cut ties with the Universal Heroes, which the Universal Men quietly agreed, meaning that they shook hands together, stating that this is the end of the road for them. The alliance between the Universal Dunner Heroes and the Universal Heroes completely ended, right where it all began. From the end to the start of it, it completely ended. The alliance within the Intergalactic Coalition started shifting from within itself and throughout the Universal Heroes and throughout the people of Dunnerworld and throughout the other known worlds. It started shifting erratically. Still with their most powerful enemy at large and ruling from the shadows, it still started shifting erratically. Eric's son became the sole ruler of Dunnerworld, making sure that Dunnerworld was quietly free from all controls of powerful master criminal, completely free from all controls of powerful masterminds, completely free of all powerful masterminds, from masterminds controls, and all from powerful supervillains controls, and all from powerful supervillain from super criminals controls as well. And Erickson was completely pleased that he's now the new mayor of Dunnerworld, and that he will lead it with grace and with great authority. And Eric, the father of Eric's son, was quietly or remotely unhappy, as his wife was also statedly, though not exactly unhappy, but they'll do whatever they can they'll do whatever it takes in order to save Dunnerworld and the rest of their civilization from the forces of evil, even if means by removing their son from power by any and all means necessary. The Intergalactic Coalition and the alliance between the Universal Thunder Heroes started shifting erratically, especially with the new Lord of Magic and his ancient secret society that are ruling from the shadows. Now it started shifting erratically. This power vacuum and this war between good and evil waging, fighting against each other, started upsetting the delicate balance of the sacred world and of the sacred universe. This sacred war is now boiling out of control and spiraling out of control, unlike anything else has ever occurred throughout sacred history's war. The Four Nation Hunters against the monsters who are coming from the Dark Dimension continue to wage on, but it continued to spiral out of control as well. During the first of March, the first of March, Mayor Bear's corpse and body was taken straightly to a safe place where a powerful dark witch known as Amber, the goddess of power, the witch of power, was able to completely use her dark magic to resurrect Mayor Bear, telling him that the plan worked marvelously as the way it was supposed to, and Mayor Bear was reluctantly pleased, stating that his work is just beginning and is just getting started. Mayor Bear was able to meet up with the members of the Order of the Five on the 2nd of March, telling them that the plan exactly worked the way it was supposed to be, meaning that his downfall was exactly the necessary adjustment, the necessary victory that the Order of the Five was able to achieve. And Darklight was quietly reluctantly pleased, meaning that your good work has quietly done more higher ups than favor, meaning that World is secretly under the control of the founders, and it's still under the control of the founder. They still have subtitle control over the known worlds and over the known civilizations throughout the known universe and throughout the rest of sacred existence, meaning that the Order of the Five is in control of everything. So are the founders, and so are the members of the Order of the Six, and Mayor Bear was reluctantly pleased. Mayor Bear told his operatives and forces that they will help the Shadow Empire warlords commanders to still show their allegiance and their loyalty to the Order of the Five and to the founders and to the Order of the Six, meaning that everything else needs to go on in place the way it was meant to be. On the 13th of March, excuse me, on the 13th of March, maybe I was able to watch a nice hologram video of the previous original Little Magic, stating that everything else is going exactly according to plan, meaning that he'll become an associate of the new Little Magic's organization, and as well furthering his goals and his mission in exterminating the supernaturals and the aliens of the sacred world and of the sacred universe for good this time and for permanently. And Mayor Bear was reluctantly pleased that he'll continue the original Little Magic's goals and mission no matter what, and that he'll continue becoming an associate of the new Little Magic's organization, of the new Little Magic Sacred Society organization that is well known as the Order of Power, with the goal of exterminating and wiping out the supernaturals and aliens of the sacred world and of the sacred universe permanently, in order to rule and conquer the sacred world and the sacred universe and the known worlds by any and all means necessary. The new Little Magic had much of a higher mission and a higher goal in order to complete the original Little Magic's goal and mission, and he had proteges and students ready to complete his work and his mission, and as well as his goals. Everything else was quietly set in place, and Mayor Bear was reluctantly pleased and quietly very happy that everything else is quietly set in stone, and the puzzles of it completely have really placed themselves the way they were supposed to be. In doing so, Mayor Bear was quietly happy that he was able to watch a hologram of the original Little Magic, listening to his original dying wishes, stating to him that everything else will be completed the way you wanted it to be completed, Master. In doing so, he brought new students and new proteges of the newly Little Magic to the newly Little Magic, and Lord Justin was reluctantly pleased that now the legacy of the original Little Magic will continue to remain strong and intactable, as the legacy of the Universal Heroes will also continue to remain strong and also indestructible and also invincible, as well. The legacy of the 4 Nation Hunters and the legacy of the 5 Nation Hunters, the 10 Nation Hunters, the 6 Nation Hunters, 7 Nation Hunters, 9 Nation Hunters will continue to remain strong and also untouchable and also indestructible as well. And all their legacies will continue to live on, and the goals of their previous masters and leaders will continue to go on forth no matter what. And Mayor Bear was reluctantly pleased, saying that he is now his new master's associate and as well his ally to his mission and to his goal. And he will completely help him to further his goal and his mission no matter what. On the first of April, Mayor Bear was able to attend a video conference with the members of the Order of the 6 Days, stating that everything else is quietly in place and all their services, and he will assist them with all the services and everything else he quietly needs. And Lord 6 was reluctantly pleased that the Hive Brothers will exactly contact you for them, will exactly contact you through them, stating that wherever they need you, you will exactly assist them with all the technologies and all the destructive powers, and all the remaining fleets of the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders will be now under your control, and everything else will exactly still completely falling under the control. Lord 6 completely advised Mayor Bear not to underestimate the Universal Earth Heroes, the Universal Defending Heroes, the Universal Space Heroes, the United Heroes, the Intergalactic Coalition, the Universal Heroes and the World Heroes, the Water Heroes, the Fire Heroes and the Earth Heroes, especially the Universal Heroes, especially with the abilities, not to underestimate them by any and all means necessary. Mayor Bear completely complied, that said yes, he has learned a lot from remaining dead and coming back to life, and that underestimating the Universal Heroes and their abilities was a foolish sentimentality mistake, and he will not happen again, as this time he has learned his lesson and he has learned his good lesson. After that, Ghostmaster appeared from the shadows, stating that the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders need you to supply them with endless technology and more powerful technology. Ghostmaster stated that that will always continue to happen, and that he'll make sure that the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders remain in power, and that they'll continue serving their new masters and leaders. Ghostmaster and Mayor Bear completely shook hands together, stating that they are forever partners, and that they continue helping themselves and empowering themselves in order to remain in power throughout the shadows of the sacred world and throughout the shadows of the sacred galactic conflict that's about to come and emerge one way or another, and for sole dominance of the galaxy and of the known universe by any means necessary. And that is the ultimate goal that they're willing to achieve. And that ultimate goal is what they're willing to achieve by any and all means necessary. And Mayor Bear and Ghostmaster both shook hands, stating that they are forever now partners in their long-term goals and in their long-term goals and in their long-term plans. Despite this, guys, Mayor Bear is reluctably intelligent and reluctably smart. Very, very smart. He even made sure that he was killed publicly, and his death was quietly unknown to the rest of the galaxy in order for the rest of the galaxy to feel shocked, showing that the Thunder Heroes, the universal Thunder Heroes, are the bad guys, not the heroes that they proclaim themselves to be. And in doing so, Mayor Bear is shown to be extremely intelligent and possesses raw intelligence, as forming alliances with powerful criminals such as Ghostmaster, Fire Dragon, Red Bolt, the Dark Order, the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders, the Dark Druids, the Dark Witches, and the Dark Faithful, in order to further his ultimate goal and his ultimate plans, in utilizing their resources for his ultimate goal, in order to make sure that he remains sole ruler of Thunderworld and sole ruler of Thunderworld, and also the known worlds throughout the known universe and throughout the rest of sacred existence. He possesses a genius level intellect. He possesses genius level intellect, and he's very smart and very, very charismatic, and such a powerful manipulator and a powerful businessman and a powerful business influencer. He's very, very determined and very ambitious, as he makes sure that the plans of his masters will be completely be set in motion. The plans of his masters, known as the Order of the Five, Order of the Six, and the Founders as well, that they're completely able to further their own goals, their goals and their mission as their plans, as by any means necessary, in controlling the known universe and the sacred war and the sacred world and the sacred universes, such as the other universes of the Golden Universe, Mixel Universe, Star Universe, Sacred Universe, Over Universe, your robotics universe as well, by making sure that those universes remain under the sole control of these powerful masters, the big bad guys, known as the Order of the Five, Order of the Six, and the founders as well, by making sure that they remain in power. And you'll also do whatever it takes in order to make sure that he remains in power as well, by ruling within the shadows of Thunderworld. He's an arch nemesis of the Thunder Heroes, and he quietly hates them for what they did to him, and he'll do whatever it takes to take them down, even by making sure that his death brings them down to his knee. He's a powerful criminal and very, very ambitious and very, very intelligent. He possesses no superpowers. The only thing that can grant him superpowers is a serum that quietly injects it upon himself, which he quietly, mysteriously injects it upon himself in his body, granting him superpowers such as super speed, super strength, and invulnerability, and super hearing. He's also ruthless and very, very cruel in nature, who'll do whatever it takes to make sure that he remains in power and he becomes the sole ruler of Thunderworld. He has the best interests of the people of Thunderworld, and he'll do whatever it takes to take down the Thunder Heroes and the Universal Heroes and the rest of the Intergalactic Coalition. His death created a huge rift within the Intergalactic Coalition, able to secretly forcing him to be controlled, to be secretly controlled under the new Lord Magic and his ancient secret society, and his organization of supervillains known as the Order of Power, to make sure that the new Lord Magic remains in power and that Red Bolt remains in power as well, as becoming the sole ruler of the Shadow Empire, and make sure that he remains in power no matter what. Despite this, Mayor Bear is very, very careless and very, 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 very patient with his prayer, and he plays very well, and he's very, very high, powerful strategist, as was able to think 10 steps ahead of the Thunder Heroes, able to beat them at their own game in order to outsmart them with their tactics and with their plans in order to take them down. He's very, very cruel and very, very ruthless. He's a power-hungry criminal and a power-hungry villain who'll do whatever it takes in order to remain in power, especially forming an alliance with a powerful, secretive member known as Professor War, who's a secretive member of a powerful group of supervillains known as the Founders, in order to help them further their goal in conquering and in controlling humanity and the sacred world and the sacred universe and the sacred galactic conflict that's been going on for many, many centuries. Despite this, Mayor Bear hates the Four Nation Hunters. He despises them and he doesn't like them. He views them as an obstacle and as a threat to his plans, and he'll do whatever it takes to take them down, even by opening portals to the dark dimension in order to make sure that the monsters from the dark dimension come literally escape from the dark dimension in order to make sure that the monsters from the dark dimension continue to wage war with the Four Nation Hunters and with the Five Nation Hunters, with all the hunters, in order to take them down and destroy them, especially with the newly alliance. He'll do whatever it takes to remain in power and to take down his obstacles and to removing the sacred heroes of the sacred world and of the sacred universe for good, and in controlling humanity, and to furthering his ultimate goal in remaining in power, and also to remaining in power by any means necessary. He despises the Universal King. He literally despises the Universal King. He sees him as a top competitor, and he'll do whatever it takes to remove him out of the way, even by forming an alliance with his son's organization known as the Order of the 12, and make sure that the Universal Prince sits at the Universal Throne in order to thrust the sacred world and the sacred universe and the known universe through chaos and destruction, in order to make sure that he rules and benefits from that chaos by any and all means necessary, guys. Mayor Bear is cruel, ruthless, very violent, and very, very sadistically a powerful manipulator, and very, very cruel in nature. He'll do whatever it takes to remain in power, and also to make an example of his people, and to make sure that his people of Thunder World are the sole rulers of the cosmos, and that they become the most powerful species ever existed throughout the rest of sacred history and of the sacred world by any means. Instead, the only thing that able to bring down his downfall was the Thunder Heroes, which he quietly despises, and he learns from his last encounter not to underestimate the Thunder Heroes, and especially Eric's son, known as Kyle, not to take him lightly and not to underestimate his ability. That is what he's been learning. He's a very fast learner, and he learns not to underestimate his top competition, especially the Universal Heroes, and the Universal Heroes ability, and the Universal Earth Heroes ability, and the United Heroes and the Intergalactic Coalition. He learns from his failure, and he learns that the Universal Heroes and the Intergalactic Coalition and the United Heroes and the Thunder Heroes, especially the abilities in thwarting his operation and intervening and also interfering with the operation, that they're not meant to be underestimated by any and all means necessary. Telling you guys, Mayor Bear is sadistically cruel and very, very evil and very, very ruthless in nature. He will do whatever it takes to remain in power and to become the sole ruler of Thunderworld. Currently, right now, he rules Thunderworld from the shadows. He is now associate of the new Little Magics organization and an associate of the Founders, the Shadow Empire Warlords, and Ghostmaster, and also the Order of the Five and the Order of the Six, helping them further their own plans and their goals in ruling and conquering the known universe and the sacred world and the sacred universe and the other universes that I mentioned. He'll do just about that to remain in power. He's a power-hungry villain who will do whatever it takes to remain in power and to make sure that the people of Thunder World are in power, no matter what it takes. Well, guys, I all hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you tomorrow as well. Yes, I'll see you tomorrow as well, and I all hope you have a wonderful, blessed evening and an afternoon. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great evening and afternoon. Make sure that you guys are greatly happy and also blessedly have a blessed afternoon and blessed evening. I will see you tomorrow, and we'll talk more about the next group of heroes and supervillains, and we'll talk about more about it tomorrow. But I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great, blessed evening and an afternoon. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye. Shop, shop. Shop, shop. Bye.